Welcome to the Legal Immigration Topics channel. I am your host, CP. And today's topic, this border breaker, illegal immigrant, falsified records to employ Manyyyy border breaking illegal immigrants while also trying to hire unaccompanied minors. When I read this story, I was also doing this. I'm like, you hear this, oh my goodness, Trump. Oh my goodness, look what ICE is doing. Look what ICE is doing, right? But before Trump got selected to be put within this office, what about the previous administration that had record-breaking, border-breaking illegal immigration numbers? What about that? What about however other previous personnel that made sure to institute DACA programs, deferred action for childhood arrivals, right? Where you had people that made sure that the parents of parents made sure to have their border break illegal immigrant kids go up to the borders, regurgitate whatever they had to regurgitate, right? And stuff like that. And then they give them whatever numbers to call or organizations to call. Those are the unaccompanied minors type of game. You see how this goes, right? And again, relating to this topic, this border break illegal immigrants was, well, beyond, of course, hiring adult border break illegal immigrants. Him being a border break illegal immigrant himself, right? I mean, again, I'm like this. I mean, the audacity and the insultingness of this, right? But the thing about it is, these type of border break illegal immigrants, they truly, literally think also that various types of American citizens are stupid. Just like they really do truly think that numbers of, unfortunately, they really do look at Black Americans collectively, and they think they're stupid too. They say, wait a minute, these Negroes, there are numbers of these Negroes that do be trying to fight for border break illegal immigrants who don't care nothing about Black Americans, period. Let alone, they don't care about generationalness of predominant-based culture type personnel at all. And unfortunately, like situation where Nate Good and the Alex Pretty guy, where these particular personnel were sitting there fighting for border break illegal immigrants who don't care nothing about them. Now, the thing about it is, what I want you to keep this in mind when I'm going to show this initial first, well, it's a quick little snippet of something, but this is what these border break illegal immigrants are doing every day. Yes. They're doing this every day. But they want numbers of American citizens over generations. I'm not talking about some ones that are, have some biasness or, they were allowed to come over and get certain type of green cards and what supplies to, right? And all the types of agendas. No. We're not talking about them. Because they want more border break illegal immigrants. They want more child migrationists to allow other people to attach themselves and stuff like that. No. We're not going to talk. We're not talking about that part, right? Those right there are tactic field and abomination of what they're trying to do, right? Which is anti anything dealing with immigration or border break illegal immigration control, right? Now, let me go back here and share my screen on this part. I wanted to kind of set that direction up, right? because this is another thing I want to show you before I read the article about this border break illegal immigrant. This is very important on these things right here. This was, I think, last year before Trump got in office. Just set this direction up. I'm utilizing this also for fair use doctrine. And today is March 29th, 2026.
Joining me now on set is NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley, just back from the border. And Julia, I'm told you have some new reporting on numbers just within the last day or so after this executive action went into effect.
Yeah, that's right. We now know what the numbers look like within 24 hours of this being in effect. And actually, they're unchanged. We still saw about 4,000 migrants cross between legal ports of entry over the entire southern border on Wednesday, which is about where they were on Tuesday and Monday as well. So what does this mean? Well, at least in the very near term, it's not doing anything to deter migrants from coming into the United States. And
what did she just say? And this was under the previous administration.
Well, at least in the very near term, it's not doing anything to deter migrants from coming into the United States. And in fact, it's really causing a lot of confusion from those migrants wondering, is now the best time to come?
Right. Well, there's so many questions with that. And
illegal immigrants, not migrants.
Some big flip of the switch. But the truth is, many of these migrants coming here, they're not familiar with the policies, the intricacies of all this. But we've been hearing from the Biden administration whenever we ask them about, are there enough resources here to be able to handle all of this and all these processing facilities? What are you hearing? What is the confusion among those agents on the ground? Are they going to be able to handle these changes?
Well, agents are certainly really concerned about what do they do, exactly as you said, with people who are from countries like Venezuela, China, countries that are some of the fastest growing nationalities they see at the border. They can't be deported. Their countries don't want to take them back. But if they can't claim asylum, where? And
here's the crazy part about it. You heard her name some places. Venezuela, by the way, we just heard not too long ago, a month or so ago, where basically there's a regime change, destabilization, those whole different topics, right? And talking about China. You heard what she was saying, that China is also fast growing a border break illegal immigrants that also come to the United States, right? But they'll tell numbers of people that hire Chinese personnel model minority and so smart, this and all that. You see these games they keep playing. They're disgusting. It's an insult. So the thing about it is, I want you to ask yourself, can American citizens, we're not talking about some latecomer type personnel that became American citizens. We're not going to play that tactic. We're talking about generations of before all these Bidenistic agendas and people lying to become naturalized and various types of immigration games and all that stuff, right? That they didn't think about being patriotic. They're coming over to sit there and get freebies. Right? On that. Do you think that American citizens can go across the borders in other countries and break immigration laws? And you think that country is going to sit there and provide free resources and food and welfare-like type assistance and free type of Medicaid type of similarity, which numbers of countries don't even have that. But say the ones who have something of a all insurance or eco insurance for the country. Do you think they're going to allow American citizens to break border immigration laws and take care of and have their kids have free resources, free and free food left and right? Let alone, do you think that's going to happen to Black Americans? I don't think so. Right? But you see this game. Well, they don't have no resources. Who cares? Send them back. Do you think American citizens, Black Americans, etc., gonna be able to sit there and break immigration laws and other people gonna feel sorry? Please. They'd be like, they got to leave. But this is a game. They keep trying to run.
Where do they go? And we posed that question to DHS officials on a call with reporters yesterday, and they said, look, we're clear-eyed about this. Congress didn't give us the funding. We're not going to be able to do as much as we want.
And they keep blaming Congress over and over again. That's something the White House has really done, especially the last couple of months. But when the rubber meets the road here, what are they going to do?
Well, the real question is, will these numbers rise this summer? Because if they do, they could see extreme overcrowding, either that or they'll have to roll back on a lot of these provisions that they just laid out in a pretty spectacular way with the presidential speech on Tuesday. So if the numbers stay low, maybe they won't have to go as far and they can keep deportation numbers going pretty quickly. But if they get higher than this or even maintain, it's going to be hard to see how this order is really going to have any
And
teeth
is there
to it.
any way that these numbers dip below 2,500? They haven't for 3 years.
They haven't.
Do you hear that? Thousands. This is this last year in certain piece of a summertime, or close to the summertime. This is at a certain part of a border. You got what, down at the southern borders? You're talking about close to 2,000, several states, huh? Many of those places cannot be looked afterwards, right? Do you understand? So many holes in different places that border break illegal immigrants are using. So for every one or two, several other ones are not caught. Excuse me. So for every several border break illegal immigrants that are caught, several other ones are not caught. Do you see this game? If there is no benefit to come to America to get free resources and freebies and laugh at American citizens and laugh at Black Americans, etc. Overall, they wouldn't be coming. Do you understand? So, and the thing about it is, when you look at none of these people, let me go back. Hold on.
See how this order is real deportation numbers.
Do you think, do they look like they're going to go work on some fruit orchard, some vegetable orchard? Who's going to sit there and pick the fruit? Who's going to pick the vegetables? Do they look like they're going to do that? Do you understand this game? They keep running on people. This game. Now, let me sit there and now go into, let me go into the article. It's a quick article. Now, I want you to just keep those things in mind, what I just showed you, right? On that. This article, March the 5th, 2026. Again, today is March the 29th, 2026. This is why it's so extremely important to sit there and have these type of content as a timepiece. Because people, they know numbers of people got a short-term memory. And I'm not talking about because of health situations, because so many things continue to keep happening. And border break illegal immigrants are sitting there laughing at numbers of American citizens. They're laughing at millions of American Blacks who don't know these kind of games. Right? Just ignoring these type of border break illegal immigrants do not fix anything. They're laughing. They're coming to replace all types of different kind of people. And many of them are just waiting for the magic wand for multi-millions to be sit there and become legal citizens. Do you understand the game? Do you understand? This is emergency level type of, this is emergency level, people, what's happening right now. This is catastrophic emergency diabolical agenda planning going on, what they're doing right now. So let's go ahead and read this article. ICE investigation leads to arrest of border breaker illegal immigrant, criminal illegal alien from Guatemala for employing illegal border breaker illegal immigrants in Idaho. How the freak they get up there, right? Huh? It's kind of far from the southern border, isn't it? Look at that border breaker illegal immigrant. Look at him. Does that look like he's hapless? Does that look like he's a victim? Boise, Idaho. ICE Homeland Security Investigations Special Agents arrested Brian Adiel Gramajo Reyes, a border breaker illegal immigrant, criminal illegal alien from Guatemala, February 28, 2026, for alleged illegal business practices discovered in a recent human trafficking investigation. A federal grand jury in Pocatello, whatever it is, or Pocatello, something like that, returned an indictment charging Gramajo with 2 counts of encouraging illegal entry of border break illegal immigrant aliens to enter the United States. 8 counts of using what? False statements. What? Using false statements for employment verification by testing that what? Social security numbers. What again? Social security numbers were genuine, falsified, that like they was genuine, they were falsified, that the employees were authorized to work in the United States, knowing that was what? False. And 1 count of unlawful employment of border break illegal aliens. Rescuing unaccompanied children who are tragically exploited and trafficked is a top HSI priority. Such and such person, such and such. Our investigation underscores HSI's resolve to enforce our U.S. law and safeguard every child. Additionally, worksite enforcement is essential to protecting our communities, targeting illegal employment networks, rescuing victims, and stopping fraudulent business practices that harm real Americans. It sounds great and everything, but is it actually in practicality that is consistently happening? There are other forces out there that be like, we got to watch that, because we need to have more border break illegal immigrants. There is an agenda going on with that. But I make this point, and well, let me just finish this up. According to HSI investigation, Gramajo persuaded 2 unaccompanied border break illegal immigrant children to travel from Guatemala to U.S. with prospects of opportunity, only to require them to work long hours of physical labor after arriving in Idaho. That's pretty far from Guatemala to way to Idaho. How did they sit there and go all through different states and stuff like that, going through Mexico and all those kind of places, going up through the southern borders, going into, or should I say, going from Mexico to El Norte and going up through the other states to go way up there, several states up to Idaho? Some personnel, Coyote had to get them up there, however, people. But the problem is, as well, is that they keep trying to act like these unaccompanied minors don't know nothing. See, that's what's disturbing. They keep acting like, oh, well, those innocent unaccompanied minors, they don't know anything. They know more than most people know. This is why they're allowed to keep coming to El Norte, people. Stop being foolish, the ones who are. And they're ones who can't stop. We're not talking about their ignorance. Because this is what border break illegal immigrants and however people, they like that kind of ignorance. They keep thinking these unaccompanied minors are some kind of helpless victims. They know exactly what they're doing because they're told what to do and how to do it. People, they was doing this before Trumpism. They was doing this before Bidenism. Doing this before the first time of Trumpism. They were doing this before that first Trumpism. Do you understand? It just happened to be probably within the last, 30 or 40 years, it's been ramping up a little bit more of border break illegal immigrants. And they catch people left and right with the, the numbers are going down. So the freak what? Those are just temporary here and there, a little bit ebb and flows. There's been record-breaking border break illegal immigrants for decades, especially over the last, 10 years? Man, please. This is not a game. HSI dedicated to locating 450,000. What did I say? HSI is dedicated to locating the 450,000 unaccompanied alien children that came in through the border under the Biden administration. Too many of these children were exploited, trafficked, and abused. HSI will continue to ramp up efforts and will not stop until every child is found. Not going to happen. Sadly, during those 4 years, many of those children came across the border unaccompanied, were placed with unvetted sponsors who were actually smugglers and soft traffickers. The Trump administration has located more than 132,000 of these children. But at the same time, they want people to sit there and look the other way and act like this is not happening, to do this. Hold on. Let me a second. Let me show you what they know many people are doing. One moment here. This is what they know many people are doing.
Oh, brings it here into the barrel. Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
What was that? Will they do most of these people doing?
Oh, brings it here into the barrel. Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
This is what they know quite a number of people are doing within the U.S. that want supplies to.
Brings it here into the barrel. Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
Yes. See, the border breaking illegal immigrant groups and pro-border breaking illegal immigrant groups, organizations, entities, various political figures. Oh, they know what's going on because they want more of this. Because they have their own agenda. Again, the unaccompanied minors, they're not some of this only innocent, helpless victims. There are some of them, yes, but we're talking about collectively. They know exactly what they're doing. The parents, the grandparents, or uncles, or aunts, or whoever other people, they are instigating these unaccompanied minors to sit there and come to El Norte. They already got whatever numbers and information and documents of who to call and what to say, whatever the heck it is. Now, don't you understand how that sounds? Now, reverse that around. You think American citizens, their kids, are going to be allowed to go across that border, to southern border, huh? And break immigration laws and say they got some, and they're going to have some kind of sponsors across the southern border. And some other countries south of Mexico, and say, well, you know what? Cost of living is better down there in different places. And sponsors are going to be lined up saying, you know what? We're going to help these kids out. Let alone, you think they're going to help Black American kids? Do you see all these stupid idiotic tactics? They continue to keep trying to play upon people's mentality, and they play this little bad version of violin music. Right? Playing off people's emotions and don't understand there's a sinister game going on. I thank you for tuning in to the Illegal Immigration Topics channel, and consider subscribing and liking the video, because there is so much need for this kind of content to be put out in this particular areas-ness of this internet. There's not enough content being shown on this. It's not about the emotional propaganda that numbers of people they're wanting people to keep trying to buy into. We need realistic content. And so this Illegal Immigration Topics channel, I'm relaying over realistic information that's going on. So I ask in closing to consider subscribing or maybe liking the video and maybe even sharing it. But either way, again, hey, thanks for watching and things like that.